Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight we have a hilarious show. We welcome viral sensation, Corporate Erin, other known as Lisa Beasley. She joins us to talk about what's next for her career and about what's going on in Lisa's life as she has her comedy shows, etc. So stick around for that. I want to remind you all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, our official website, thestephennightshow.com. Also check us out on TikTok. But you can get our merch on our website. Make sure you register to vote, and we're going to tell you exactly why and one of our hot topics. But make sure you register to vote because we do have a very important election coming up this year. And as you know, this is Black History Month, and tonight we're highlighting Daniel Alexander Payne on February 24th of 1811. He was born in Charleston, South Carolina, and he played a pivotal role in shaping the AME Church, emphasized the importance of education, ministerial training. He served as the sixth bishop of the AME Church for over 4 decades, from 1852 to 1893. Additionally, he was instrumental in founding the Wilberforce University in Ohio in 1856. In 1863, the AME Church acquired the university and appointed Payne as its leader, making him the first African-American president of a college in the United States. He held the position until 1877, leaving a lasting legacy in the realm of education and religious leadership. So salute to Daniel Alexander Payne. All right. Well, Brittany can join us tonight because she has some personal things to take care of, but she'll be with us next week. Linda and Chike, how y'all feeling?
Chike already knows how I'm feeling, so I'll share with you. I am happily tired. My dad received his kidney transplant on Friday.
Oh, wow.
So he's been on the kidney transplant list for 4 years.
Wow.
And when those things happen, you gotta go. So I'm tired. I was struggling to get here. But this somebody was fussing at me about coming to work. So I ain't gonna give names.
Well, speedy healing to your father.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, well, our question today is this. My dad actually sent this to me last week, and I had seen it on social media, but a woman recently said that men that make less than $50,000 a year should not date because they can't afford it. Do you agree or disagree? I'll start with you, Lania.
I'm so tired of these heifers. When I tell you I'm tired of these heifers, I'm so tired of them because they have all these unrealistic expectations when you don't even match the expectations that you want or expect from a man. Are you at least making $50K a year? Is your credit good? You got enough money in the bank to hold you over in case something happens. How many kids you got? How many baby daddies you got? What you got going on? Like, what's your educational level? Like, I see all these women talking on these podcasts about what they not going to deal with. What happened to wanting to grow with your partner? Now, it's one thing to grow with someone. It's another thing when you're an enabler, and you're constantly, the one doing it. But when you're growing, that's what growth is with a partner and in a relationship. It's building together, not expecting for somebody, well, you have to be already up here, even though I'm not. That means you could bring me up there with you, and I have nothing to bring to the table but cooch.
Right.
Yeah, no, they need to go sit down somewhere.
Chike, what are your thoughts on this?
It's just all ridiculous. It is. A man making less than $50,000 probably will find a nice woman who's making 18, and they'll be happy together. It's in the heart, on the inside, not the outside.
Right. And my thing is, if they're living within their means, that could be a decent salary for somebody. You know what I mean? And people do it all the time. I think it's ridiculous as well. But I'll read some of the comments on Facebook. Felicia said, disagree. It's about getting to know someone while dating. It's not about money. Clarence, I love that. He said, she's right. They shouldn't date women who subscribe to this mindset. They'll throw it in your face. First opportunity, she's upset. Protect your peace, fellas. Alicia said, if their bills paid and they can take care of themselves, I don't see an issue. Tell them to call me. Will said, all women don't subscribe to that way of thinking. So she shouldn't say instead personalize it and say that she doesn't believe in dating someone earning less than 50K. Because she'll never be happy with him and he will always feel like he isn't good enough for her. That relationship would not work for them. Leroy said the truth is they shouldn't date her. For that matter, no one because they won't be happy. And there were other comments, but I'll read the last one. If a woman's not dating with the intention of marriage, their financial status should not be a criteria for dating. But yeah, so let us know what you think. Stephen Knight Show, SHO1X. All right. Well, it's been almost 3 years since Wendy Williams graced our television screens from our iconic talk show. But the past weekend, Wendy returned to her stomping grounds with the two-part premiere of the Lifetime documentary, Where is Wendy Williams? But the sharp, witty, and sometimes shady persona that made her show stand out wasn't front and center in the premiere. Instead, fans got a look at Wendy's personal legal and medical struggles since the end of her talk show. That includes her recently revealed diagnosis of aphasia and dementia. Part one of the documentary highlights her strong desire to return to TV, but that quickly gives way to her recent state. The project features interviews and commentary from her manager, Will, publicist Sean, her son, Kevin Hunter Jr., her niece, and her nephew, and other friends and family. In one scene in the documentary, Wendy is seen laying in bed under the covers while her manager, Will, addresses a nearly empty bottle of vodka in her room. He asks Williams if she drank all of it, but he's called it her special item the same day. At first, Wendy says yes and quickly says no. Will reacts by sitting on the edge of her bed and questioning her about the amount she drank. When he tells her that he doesn't think drinking like that is a good idea, when he gives him a blank look and responds, F you. When he asks Wendy if she thinks she's perfectly fine drinking as much as she wants, the former host said perfectly. Her eyes widened when Will suggested that he was going to take her bottle downstairs to keep it cool. Wendy quickly and aggressively told him to keep the bottle there. Elsewhere in the doc, Will alleges that Wendy has become more aggressive as time passes. The documentary delivers several scenes to the testimony, including her snapping at her nail tech, driver, and her management team. Wendy's nephew, Travis Finney, also notes that he's seen severe change in Wendy's personality in the last decade. In the documentary, her one and only son, Kevin Hunter Jr., seems opposed to having a guardianship in place. For context, ahead of the documentary, William Williams' family revealed that her current whereabouts are unknown to them, but she reportedly is at a treatment facility and able to reach her family by phone. So she can call them, they can't call her. Apparently, the only person with physical access to the former Purple Chair Queen is her guardian, whom the court put in place to oversee her health and finances in May of 2022. The following month, her show was canceled. Then, according to People, filming for the documentary began in August 2022. So pretty much what they explained on the documentary is that when she, remember when she passed out on TV and she took the break from the show, she had gone to Miami to be with her family. And they said there she wasn't drinking, she was eating, she had gained some weight. And the show was in support of her being in Miami. But as time went on, they wanted her back in New York. And so the family wanted to keep her there because they said they were more concerned about her than the show. And eventually she was court ordered to come back to New York. And then the show was canceled. And so when she was in Miami, her son was taking care of her. He had what's it called when you have legal, not guardianship, but power of attorney over her.
Power of attorney.
Yeah. And so, but when the court stepped in, that's when they removed it from him. And so that's their biggest concern, that they can't, they can't keep their hands on her and watch her from herself in New York by herself, where she sits in her apartment and drinks a lot. But then she was put on the court-ordered, guardianship. And her sister says that she sounds, because it's been over 2 years, sounds great on the phone. She sounds like herself. and she even admits that she does sometimes lose her memory. But she says the person that you see in the documentary is not who she is now, because she stopped, she's sober and everything. And but they have to look at the guardianship, renew it the judge has to look at it every year to see if they want to reinstate it, and they're the only ones that can get rid of it. Her son did deny a claim that he took $100,000 out of her account when she was under his care. He said that he didn't do anything without her permission, and she always wanted him to have money and buy him stuff. And her nephew, he said the same thing. But yeah, so watched the documentary. Actually, I watched the part 1 and 2 when it came out, and I watched the rest today, and it was sad. It was sad to watch. And prior to it coming out, her guardianship tried to sue A&E from releasing it. But her niece, who's a news reporter in Miami, she was on The View last week, and she said that they asked, what do you say to people saying y'all are making money off of her in the state? And she said that it wasn't her decision, it was Wendy's decision, and she's the executive producer. She wanted to do it. But they did stop filming. The crew that was filming the documentary, they stopped filming because when she was found unresponsive in her apartment. And they were concerned about her health. But Chike, did you watch? What are your thoughts? Do you think it was a good idea they said they were shining light on this conservatorship and Wells Fargo keeping their money, etc. And at the end they try to paint it as she's a survivor, etc. But then again, they did talk about dementia. What are your thoughts?
So it was hard to watch, but being a filmmaker, what I pay attention to is who does what credit do you have, who's producing it, and everybody that's in it has hands in it. So that tells me that it's a collaborative effort. They all were together on this. Whether what they say, if they refuted it or not, some of the people that are close to her are producers on this project. I think that this was a very smart way of them to recoup some money because she has no income at this point. So this was a smart way to get income flowing in because she was taking care of a lot of people. It basically puts everyone that was on the table to work because those people are part of this project. The second thing is, yes, to shine a light on the conservatorship. Basically the same thing with Britney Spears. If no one started to talk about it, we would have never known that that's what was going on. We just thought, oh, Britney was crazy and she's gone. This shines a light. Excuse me. And also with Wendy's illness, it's also shining a light on that as well. The progression of it, the help that she may need, is giving you a peek into her world to see basically what she's going through.
Yeah. And it's interesting. So her son was the first one told that she had the dementia, and it was alcohol induced the dementia. And he told other family members. And so at one point she's sitting with her dad and her brother, and she recognizes her brother as her son. And you could just see the look on her dad's face because he knows she has dementia, but he looked like, wow, you know what I mean? And at that point they hadn't seen her in 8 months. But Linnea, what are your thoughts on this documentary?
So I haven't watched it yet. Chike gave me a good he gave me good cliff notes from watching it. But just based off of the clips, sad is definitely one of the things that comes to mind. For me personally, my mother has dementia. Hers is it happened for a different reason. But that part of it for me is what humanizes it for me.
Yeah.
Because of that situation. And I guess what I don't understand, who appointed who started the process of the guardianship to happen.
Wells Fargo.
Well, the bank itself was able to do that.
Yep.
They indicated that there was fraudulent activity happening on the account. That's
Okay.
how they were able to get involved.
Mhm.
Okay. And when this was shot in Miami when she was with her family.
When she was with the families in Miami, but it was shot in New York, and even a scene she takes her wig off. Black China comes to visit her. Angela comes to visit her.
I saw the clip.
And she takes her wig off. And she kept saying when she gets back on her show, she was telling her dad this in Miami that she was going to take her wig off and show her feet. But yes, and then at one point she kind of persuades her publicist to take her LA, which she's not allowed to travel without telling anyone. Her manager went off on both of them and she came back. Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure, like, I guess because of this, of this guardianship, and you mentioned earlier that they were against this being aired.
Her supervisor, her guardian, the person, the one who court appointed was against it.
Yeah, but they were still able to get it done.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's a lot to that. But based off of what I've seen, it's definitely sad, and it's definitely sad that I see a lot of the comments of people saying this is her karma.
Right.
You don't know what somebody's karma is.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't know what somebody's karma is.
Mm-hmm.
So, people really just don't know how to be empathetic.
Right.
You don't have to be sympathetic, but be an empath a little bit. Because this is someone who, especially for us, she's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Whether you like her or not, good, bad, or indifferent, she did a job. She's doing what y'all see now on the internet, and they don't even have facts.
Right.
That's what Wendy did. Whether you liked it or not, people tuned in. So, that's a hard.
Yeah.
That's a hard pill.
Initially, they were shooting the documentary for her comeback. And when in shooting it, they realized that she had issues with alcohol and that she was forgetting things. And that's when it turned, the narrative of the show turned. But yeah, definitely wishing her all the best. I had a conversation about this karma too. And I do believe that for every action, there's a reaction, but we don't determine what someone's karma is or we don't know what that is or how that shows up. But yeah, but thoughts and prayers with her. All right, so according to AP News, Donald Trump beat Nikki Haley in her home state, South Carolina, Republican primary election. Despite Haley being former governor of the state, she was unable to garner enough votes to beat Trump. This marks Trump's third major win over Haley, leading up to the Republican Party nominations. Now, she says she's not dropping out at least until Super Tuesday. But Friday evening, prior to Trump's South Carolina win, he spoke to the Black Conservative Foundation Gala and made several remarks in regard to the Black community and Black voters. He suggested Black voters sympathize with him over his several indictments. He says that that's why Black people like me, because they've been hurt so badly and discriminated against, and they actually view me as being discriminated against. In another comment, he mentions the lights on the stage were so bright he could only see Black people in the audience. Chike, prior to this, he released his shoe. Remember his shoe, and there was a Fox commentator that said that Trump is a brilliant businessman because Black people love shoes, and he's speaking to the Black audience. What are your thoughts?
This is from the same man whose family didn't want Blacks living in their property. Yep. From the same guy. This is from the same man that did a whole page ad wanting 5 little boys to get the death penalty.
Yep.
See, I'm choking up on my words because I really want to cuss.
Right.
But I'm going to refuse to do that because I'm a gentleman. But anybody that knows what they know this is a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
Don't fall for the okie doke. That's it.
Yeah.
I wonder, right? I wonder if he beat Nikki Haley by 58,000 points. I wonder if he did that. You know what I mean? Or maybe he sold 58,000 sneakers. I wonder if he did that.
Mm.
But I tell you what I'm not wondering. I'm not wondering about these people that he was talking to. I'm not wondering about that. If I was related to someone who was a part of that,
Right.
of the blacks that participated in that foolishness, I wouldn't claim them as a relative anymore. If I knew.
Right.
Now, if I don't know, I can't, you know what I mean? I can't do nothing about it, but when it's in your face, it's here. It's here.
Mm-hmm.
It's right here. Like, it's in your face. They're telling you. They're saying out loud what it is. Oh, them blacks love them sneakers. You know them blacks. They love them
The
sneakers,
blacks,
boy.
right.
Them blacks love them some sneakers. Boy, let me tell you, get them sneakers, boy. Them blacks will eat it on up. They gonna eat it. They gonna eat it right on up. Even though I'm looking like Mac and me with my light right now, that's because God is shining down on me. And he's.
But can I just interject one thing? I want to interject one thing. Those sneakers that we spend, some of us spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for, were sold to us by other blacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're supporting their brand because they invested into us.
Right.
They're our idols and our heroes. They're heroes of our culture.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we buy those sneakers.
Right.
He's the hero to the blacks. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Because he's been indicted.
Yeah.
He's been indicted like the black.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Yeah, we can relate. Yeah. And the thing is, when he was making those jokes on stage at the Black Conservative Gala, they stood up there clapping and laughing. It's like,
because they weren't jokes.
right. Exactly. Exactly.
They weren't jokes.
Well, okay, so we think about this. So last week, Alabama Supreme Court decision declared that the embryos are considered children, which means that that those who destroy them can be liable for wrongful death. This comes almost 2 years after the U.S. Supreme Court ended the nationwide federal right to abortion, and this state's decision was brought by couples who had frozen embryos destroyed by accident. Since the ruling, 3 clinics have paused IVF treatments. The process of the in vitro fertilization offers a possible solution when a woman has trouble getting pregnant. According to AP News, doctors are concerned that this decision could substantially restrict access to the very vital fertility treatment that has helped countless folks today expand their families. In 2022, 4 states have amended their constitutions to protect access to abortion, and several others are considering a ballot measures for the year. So there was a family, they had some embryos they had in for a while. They cost to keep them frozen. I think it's like $1,000 a month or something like that. And someone got in the lab and knocked them over. And so the family, destroyed them on accident. And the family is sued. And so they're being charged with wrongful death. And Lenny, I ask you, you're the woman on the panel. What do you think about this?
It's interesting that, that this is always a platform that the Republicans want to stand on. We're protecting. No, you're not. Because the children that are here can't even get free lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't even want to offer Head Start programs. You've taken so many programs out of schools. No after school care, no before school care, where you've made it impossible for parents to find appropriate care for their children so they can go to work.
Mm-hmm.
But you care. No, you don't care. What you want to do is you want to make sure y'all don't feel like the minority. That's what you want to do. And the fact that there are so many white women that are on board with this, and if you've never watched Handmaid's Tale, you might want to check it out.
Mhm.
Because that's really what this is. Like it's so Handmaid's Tale-ish
Yeah.
that it's scary. And it's like y'all don't get it. And I don't remember. I just saw an article. I'm sorry, I don't remember because my mind is all over the place. And I don't remember what state it was, where they just passed a law. If a woman is married and she wants to get a divorce from her husband, even if he's beating on her, but if she's pregnant, they not gonna give her a divorce. So he can kill her
Mm.
and kill that baby, and it's okay. I gotta find that article, find out what state that
Yeah.
was. But,
They push it. They make everything go backwards. Everything go backwards. Chicken, what are your thoughts on this?
So I'm going to piggyback on Lannia's point of they want to preserve these lives until the kids are here. Then you don't want to have anything to do with them. And I'm going to raise Lannia's not able to get school lunch on possibly being shot at school on lunch. You don't care. Gun laws are still the same. Kids are getting killed.
Yep.
You want them to be born to die?
mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense.
Very
I
true.
think the person or the people, the men involved secretly want to be women and they're jealous because they can't give birth.
Yeah. They shouldn't be making laws about women's bodies. They
Not at all.
No.
Period.
Right.
And because you don't see nobody putting no law in about men getting vasectomies.
Right. Exactly.
Cutting down on the men who out here just spitting out babies, shooting
Mhm.
up the club, and not
Right.
taking care. I'm not talking about the men that take care of the kids. The
Right.
ones that, because you know, it's a bunch of them. They just shooting up the club and they going back. They travelers. You ain't saying nothing like that,
Right.
and that's okay. That's okay. That's
Mhm.
okay because it's a man.
Right. Well, Portia Williams, she announced that she's returning back to Housewives of Atlanta this upcoming season. But right after that allegation, she said she made a video. She said, Portia Williams coming back to Housewives of Atlanta. She said, who said that? You know, that's her little catchphrase. She actually know Portia, I can't pronounce her married name, Gobedia, it's the African name. She's returning. Well, shortly after the video, she announced she was getting divorced from her husband. And so this comes after the headlines about his citizenship and his past allegations involving his past. But the couple has said this has nothing to do with them, why they're getting divorced. It's an ongoing matter. But they announced their engagement in 2021. They tied the night in November 2022, and they did a spinoff, Portia spinoff, where they did it. Now, a lot of people said they're not shocked by this. If you remember, when he came on the show with his then wife Fallon, Portia introduced them with the rest of the cast, and then they ended up together and got married soon after. Lydia, are you surprised that this relationship didn't work? 18 months they're married.
Now you know I don't be watching that reality
I
stuff.
know.
But I will say this. Portia wants to be a kept woman. I could be wrong, but she wants to be a kept woman. And it looks like there may have been some where the expectation was that she was gonna be kept. Because you know, she has this persona, this, you know, high maintenance, da 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 da. Child, you know, people call me a hater. I love my life. Because these bras, there's nothing that these bras do that will say to me, that will resonate with me, outside of just Candy being the businesswoman that she is. Everything else she can have. But she's the only one. And Candy a millionaire. She should be with all the business.
Yeah, she is. She is.
Because of her business acumen. That's it. Anything else? I can't relate to them people.
Right.
I can't. I can't. She can't know. I ain't getting choked out for nobody. I ain't doing none of that.
Exactly. And Chike, 6 days prior to her announcing the divorce, she had posted pictures of them on some cruise talking about be his peace. Do you think this is for show, or do you think this is it didn't work?
Who knows? I mean, listen, you asked the wrong one. I don't put any stock into these people.
Right.
When the almighty dollar rules everything that you do in your life, mind, soul, body, and spirit, I don't got time for it. It's messy.
We'll see what happens. But before we go, we want to send our rest in peace and condolences to Councilman Eric Mays, Flint, Michigan. He passed away over the weekend. He went viral on TikTok with his their city council meetings, and he did not play. He did not play. So definitely rest in peace. When we come back, our interview with Corporate Aaron right back after this.